Good evening, everyone, and welcome to homecoming at the Silver Bowl in Mount Carmel. Tonight, before the game, we're going to honor the senior band members of Mount Carmel Area High School. Our first member, Rebecca Barnes. She's a member of the Color Guard for 3 years, co-captain of this year's Color Guard, and she's escorted by her mother, Mrs. Jane Simmons. Our next band member is David Daramidi. David has been in the band for 4 years and is the section leader of the tubas. He's escorted by his parents, Mr. and Mrs. Jake Daramidi. Our next senior member is Brian Dugan. Brian has been in the band for 5 years and is a section leader of the percussion section. Brian is escorted by his parents, Thomas and Barbara Dugan. Next, we have Matt Homiak. Matt has been in the band for 5 years. He plays baritone saxophone and bass guitar in the jazz band. He is also vice president of the band. He's escorted by his parents, Myron and Ellie Homiak. Our next band member, Darren Hudick. Darren has been in the band for 6 years. He plays the tuba and tenor saxophone and is president of the band. He's escorted by his parents, Diane Polkovic and Harry Hudick Jr. Next we have Tom Houlihan. Tom has been in the band for 5 years. He is a member of the trumpet section, and he's being escorted by his parents, Tom and Darlene Houlihan. Our next senior member is Julie Morrison. Julie has been in the band for 5 years. She's the drum major this year and a member of the flute section. She is also the band librarian. She's escorted by her parents, Frank and Cheryl Morrison. The next member, Nicole Santel. Nicole has been in the band for 6 years. She's a trumpet section leader and also a band librarian. She is a 2-year member of the District 8 band and a 1-year member of the Region 4 band. She's escorted by her parents, Greg and Judy Santel.
Our 19th member of the band is Robert Taylor.
Next we have Robert Taylor. He has been in the band for 5 years. He's a member of the percussion section and is a percussion section leader. He's escorted by his father, Robert Taylor. Our final senior member, Paula Verano. Paula has been in the band for 6 years. She's a clarinet section leader and band librarian. She's escorted by her mother, Mrs. James Verano. Ladies and gentlemen, that's the senior members of the 1993 Mount Carmel Area High School Band. We'll be back with game highlights in 1 moment. Good evening, everyone, and welcome back here. Mount Carmel Area High School Red Tornadoes against the Pottsville Area Crimson Tide. Both teams coming in with 5-1 records, Warren. Looks like it could be a great game here.
I think they're 6-1.
6-1.
6-1, right?
Okay.
I thought maybe you skipped the game there.
I might have skipped the game.
I was at them all.
They both have 1 loss.
Yeah. Well, it's a lot of things happening tonight. You're looking at probably the end of the Southern Division as we remember it, and we had some fabulous games against the Crimson Tide. As I told you last week, the Crimson Tide will not be renewing their football contract with Mount Carmel area, and that's for a lot of different reasons. Some of them good, some of them not good. But the bottom line will be we will not see a Crimson Tide team on this field again. And you're looking at a rivalry probably that we've discussed this over the past couple of years, that next to Shamokin, probably the most intense rivalry we have right now. You were talking before the game about the record in 26 and 27 and 2 or whatever you told me it was.
That's right. It's 20.
The season or the
Mount Carmel has
series.
26 wins, 27 losses, 2 ties.
Yeah.
If they win tonight, it goes 27, 27, and 2.
And that's of course one of the few series, as you had said, that would probably we'd be behind in over the years. So
right.
You can tell the kind of intensity this rivalry has had over the years. And now that Frenchie has been retrieved from falling over the balcony,
Yeah, I almost fell out the window.
Pretty ugly there for a second. We're looking forward to a big game. Of course, they are 6-1, both of them. Mount Carmel area losing to Shamokin area big, and then the Pottsville Crimson Tide coming in and whacking Shamokin area. So you look at it in the field now, and we'll take a minute here to go to the captains, and you can see a special captain out there tonight. Of course, Rob Menepace. Rob was lost for the year in the second scrimmage of the game of the year, and the same injury he had last year put him out for the entire year, and it was just so sad. He's such an intense competitor. But the good thing is you're looking at him now. He's out there in one crutch, and he told me at supper, he was one of our guests at supper, along with Jason Rohrbach and Costello last night, that he actually doesn't even need the crutches. He can walk on his own, but the doctor wants him to use the crutch for a couple more weeks, I believe he told me, and then he'll start more intensive rehabilitation.
Out there for the toss of the coin for the Red Tornadoes, besides Rob Menepace, number 29, Jeff Trocki, 57, Jason Klingerman, and 37, Joe Sinkovich. Talking to Coach Williams this week, this is a big game for him. He looks at it that way. He feels it. He thinks this is the season for the Red Tornadoes. He wants this win desperately.
Well, I think he had to first kind of grow into it a little bit, not knowing the rivalry that existed between us, where we're not close to each other. It was just something that had built up over the years, and of course now we still play them in basketball in the Schuylkill League, and it's always a big game when Pottsville comes and we go up there. So the two schools have had a very good rivalry over the years in baseball and other sports. But I think he needed to feel it a little bit to get the intensity from the people in town and see how much we really want to knock them off tonight.
Pottsville deferred the toss of the coin, so Mount Carmel will receive the ball. Coach Williams now in the middle of the huddle with the Red Tornadoes, going over some final says of what he wants to get across here to start this opening game and hopefully talk to them and calm them down a little bit. He doesn't want to see it start like it did against Shamokin.
Well, they deferred, and they deferred for one reason alone, and it's because they have such confidence in the defense. The defense is the standout part of this team. Now, on a 6-1 team, of course, the offense is doing something right, too. But they believe the defense is going to make or break them in a game, and that's why they want to put the defense on the field first.
Well, Wayne, you and I had talked a little bit. They're all back. Some of the people all the people we talked about last year from the roof, from the sky deck towers in Pottsville, are back. We have the Rusty Yost, the quarterback, Art Harris, one of the wing backs, Kirk Ruck, who is a great running back for Pottsville. We'll see him a lot tonight. And I guess Jamie O'Brien. So their key people are back.
Yeah, Kevin Keating has done an outstanding job up there at Pottsville. He's the head coach. I know him through coaching and everything else, and he has a fantastic program going. That's exactly what Coach Williams wants to do here at Mount Carmel, dropping down the bean, doing the same thing here over the next few years. But you can see their size. You can see that they've worked at it over the last 3 years. Some of those names are there for 3 years. They were starters as sophomores, and they really hit the weight program. They have some big boys out there.
Kicking off for the Crimson Tide, Earl Lechheitner, number 53. Squib kick taken by Dave Slater on the 31-yard line, brings it up to about the 34, and now up to about the 38-yard line. So Mount Carmel will take over first down and 10 on the 38-yard line.
Warren, you were talking about their defense and how good their defense is, and they went up and they got beat by Williamsport. And looking at the Williamsport team at that point, their record did not dictate exactly the type of team that they have. But Pottsville's defense could not stop their tack to the outside, the sweep. So hopefully maybe, we can do the same thing.
Higgins pitches to Sinkovich to the 42 to the 43-yard line. gain of about 5 for Joe Sinkovich.
See, the Crimson Tide gave you an early test with Scheitner, huh?
That was
first name you have to
first
say
name,
was
right,
when you have to sound out by syllable till you get it out there. A little bit of an early test. This Crimson Tide team, I want to tell you, would be what you're looking at. Go ahead.
Well, the homecoming court was sitting there ready for halftime activities at home time at halftime. Up the middle to Sheptog, gain of about 4 yards, close to a first down. It'll be 3rd down and 1.
This is a team that if you look at them on the field and you're trying to compare them, people said they were as big as Pottsville, or a Shamokin area. I think they're bigger overall. Now they don't have a 340-pound apartment building anchoring one side, but what they do have is overall size. They're probably bigger all around than Shamokin area was, and they were a big team to start off with, so a big size advantage to the Crimson Tide.
Higgins goes to a power backfield to Joe Sinkovich, close to the first down.
Yeah, it's going to depend on the spot there.
Well, the ref spotted. He had a spot, and then he got bumped by one of the Pottsville players, and he did not come back to where he originally was.
Are they going to measure this?
No, he's going to
First down, Red Tornadoes.
My goodness, you got down on that knee there and made a cut like that. I like
well,
him
I'll tell
already.
you what, I would like to know what the call, because if I'm not mistaken, I can still remember Jazz saying that if you're not sure that the captain of the offensive team could ask for a measure. I don't know if that's possible or.
I thought both teams could.
You know, I mean that's close. So for somebody to get down, a line judge to get down and look down on the field on one knee.
Mm-hmm.
First down, Red Tornadoes. The pitch back to Jeff Chalky around the right side. He's met by a wall of Crimson Tide in their initial hit made by number 99, Randy Homa.
Now defensively, the Crimson Tide. You're seeing Chalky come off the field, and I believe he has something wrong. I'm not sure what it is, but he's signaling that there was something wrong when he came off the field. But the Crimson Tide, I believe, Ray, we talked about a 50 defense last night that they don't really budge out of it at any time. They're going to just play the straight 50. That's the defense they're comfortable in.
Higgins, straight drop back, looks for the short throw. Now rolls, looking at Gonzalo, getting chased down, and he's run down by number 60. Back in the backfield, Jeremy Sipple makes the tackle for a loss of about 10 yards.
Well, you know, a lot of guys feel that, if something works for you and you have a team this size and this good as Pottsville is, if it works, stay with it. I can remember, 10 years ago when Schuylkill Haven was in the championship and winning their division and everything else, they ran 3 or 4 different plays. And what they did was they kept on running, you stop us. And they just kept on running and running the same plays over and over.
Joel Gonzalo and Bob Veach split far right. Shotgun to Higgins. Chased down in the backfield. Gets the ball, tucks it away. But then he's hit again and finished off by number 60. But the initial hit made by number 53, which is Earl Lexleitner.
There's another one, huh?
Yeah. So 4th down and long for the Red Tornadoes. 22 yards to go. 8:32 left in the first. Gonzalo in the snap. Snaps back to Joe Costello. Oh, John Yastashak in the punt.
Nice
Taken by Hawley on about the 35-yard line. Going to take it outside. Dave Slater in on the tackle. Assisted by number 88, Joel Gonzalo from the center position.
Good coverage that time. It was a good kick and good coverage.
Well, I'll tell you what. It was a low kick, and it turned over right away. It went right into a tight spiral, and it took off.
That one came right into your living room on our on-field camera tonight.
It did?
Yeah. You got to watch the monitor once in a while.
I just hope my dad ducks.
First down and 10, Crimson Tide. Randy Yost at quarterback, number 10 for the Crimson Tide. This one's on the veer to Kurt Ruck. Finds a big hole, breaks it down the left sideline. One man to beat down there, Bob Veach. And Stosh Puldanovich runs them down from behind, but a big 25-yard gain for the Crimson Tide. First down and 10 on the 34-yard line.
Well, that's not the way you want to open up defensively. The Crimson Tide has always been traditionally, I guess, for years and years, a veer offense. But this year is probably the one year that they don't rely on the veer quite as much as they used to. They'll, according to Coach Williams, they line up in a trips formation for passing. They go to a power I once in a while. Before they were strictly veer. But the thing that'll happen here is that if they're successful in the veer, that they'll stay in it the whole night.
Right.
You won't see anything else. They'll just keep pounding you with the veer, and that'll be the end of it. I'm going to take 5 minutes now and beat the athletic director up, and I'll be right back.
Randy Yost sets the Crimson Tide, and Ruck moves. He gets away with one there. Yost takes the ball, and he's driven down by Joe Sinkovic.
Ooh, hitting the back there by.
Ooh, there's a lot of things happening in that pile there.
Saj Puldanovich in there, but Sinko getting up off the bottom of the pile for about a 3-yard loss. Actually, should have been a 5-yard penalty against Ruck, but works out to the betterment for the Red Tornadoes. 7:13 left in the first quarter. No score.
Defensively, if you think you hear Sinkovich's name a lot, you do. He leads the defense in tackling with 28 unassisted tackles, 18 assisted tackles for a total of 46 altogether, and 1 quarterback sack.
Nice.
With a handoff to the tailback,
Sheptock.
number 40, Jamie O'Brien, brought down by Sean Sheptock.
Now, one of the things that concerned the coaching staff a little bit was, of course, Pottsville Crimson Tide was looking at the Norris Hukel film and saw that Norris Hukel was able to exploit us on a veer type of play, on that right at the tackle and defensive end play. And they felt that naturally they're looking at that and saying to themselves, hey, we can run the veer on this team. So it's interesting to see how we make a little bit of an adjustment here after last week.
There's the draw play to Ruck, and read nicely by the Red Tornadoes, Sean Sheptock and Jason Klingerman after only about a 6-yard gain. So Pottsville faced with a 4th down and about 4.
The key to the veer defensively, according to Williams, is you got to stay where you're supposed to be. You cross the line of scrimmage, you penetrate a yard, and that's it. It's a real disciplined kind of defense if you want to beat the veer, because as soon as you start to penetrate a little bit further than a yard, they get you. You're gone then.
Well,
it's over.
What they actually do is they run behind you. They let you. They actually sucker you in. They let you penetrate too far and then hand off and run behind you.
Right.
The fake up the middle to O'Brien. Big rush on from the Red Tornadoes, and they missed him in the backfield. He's close to a 1st down, and he'll get the 1st down. Big play by the Red Tornado defense, but they didn't get him in the backfield.
Tell you what, Joey Costello had fantastic pressure on him that time. The quarterback turned around, and Joey was standing right in his face.
So Pottsville will have a 1st down and 10 with the ball on the 21-yard line of the Red Tornadoes. 5:23 left in the first quarter. Art Harris split far to the right for the Crimson Tide. Ruck and O'Brien in the backfield. This is on the veer to Ruck up the middle, and stopped over there by Corey Hepler. And I'm trying to see who's getting up off the bottom of the pile. Well, that was Corey on the bottom, but also number 57, Klingerman.
It's interesting to see Klingerman's the second leading tackler on the Big Red defense, but everyone aside from Costello. Now, Costello is credited with 7.5 sacks. Klingerman with 7 sacks. So those guys spend a lot of time in the backfield.
Ruck from the backfield finds a hole and is down to about the 7 or 8 yard line.
Now there's Ruck. Ruck, I don't even know what his size is. We don't have it, but I'll tell you what, he has to go well over 200 pounds. Mm-hmm. And there's proof right there. You have to hit him low coming through the line. If you don't hit him low, he's going to pick up 10 yards, and there's the 1st down.
Scott Montgomery heard on the play, number 47, 28, Gary Spears into the lineup for Montgomery. 1st down and goal to go for the Crimson Tide. The pitch back to Jamie O'Brien. Takes it around the left side, and he's popped in there. Hit by number 37, Joe Sinkovic, and helped out by 28, Gary Spears.
It's interesting that Spears is in the game because we talked about him last night, and it was questionable whether he was going to be playing tonight. The other questionable starter for Mount Carmel area would be Wargo. I believe they told us we wouldn't see Wargo tonight either.
2nd down and goal to go from the 6 yard line. 3:50 left in the first quarter. Yost sets the Crimson Tide. Trying around the right side to Jamie O'Brien, taking it deep, and he's run down by number 5, Bobby Veach. What a great play.
Great play. What speed, and he hung on to him. Good play.
Pottsville now faced with a 3rd down and 9, goal to go.
Well, there you have to give credit to the defensive ends because, they ran to Stosh Pultanovic's side, and he strung it out, and the backs and the linebackers came in and closed the hole. And now to this side, they ran, and Costello did the exact same thing.
Well, they spread it out a little bit here.
Art Harris goes in motion for the Crimson Tide. Yost on the draw play. And this one's going to go for a touchdown for the Crimson Tide. Jamie O'Brien on the draw play. Number 7 will come in to attempt the extra point for the Crimson Tide, Doug Hawley.
Yeah, that was a nice play by the Crimson Tide. It was, you're 4th and 9 on the goal. You're expecting pass. But to be truthful with you, I thought we had a defense pretty well. We're just not wrapping these guys up. And I thought he should have been down before we crossed the goal line. I really did.
Number 7, Hawley, is the holder. The kicker will be number 53, Earl Lechitner. And Hawley back on the fake. Looks at Art Harris, and he does not get it in for the 2 at the 5-yard line. Great play made by number 5, Bob Veach.
I'm going to tell you what. I mean, I don't know what that was supposed to be that way, but you don't run an extra point play for 2 points and not have the guy catch the pass in the end zone. He was 2 yards out of the end zone.
Well, I think the ball. I'll tell you what. If that was a misplay, which it looked like.
Yeah, I don't know if it was.
What,
that was heads up play by Hawley. If it was.
Ruck.
With 2:51 in the first quarter, Pottsville Crimson Tide 6, Mount Carmel area 0. Yeah, I don't know if that was. They made it look like it was a play they were going to run almost. I don't know if it was or not now. But the reason I don't think it would be, you never send the receiver and not have him in the end zone.
You're right. Not that shallow. Anyway.
It's only 2 yards. He got the ball on the 2-yard line, which was the line of scrimmage.
Number 53, Earl Lechitner. And, man, I'll tell you what. We have got his name at least 8 times already. Yeah. Back to kickoff for the Crimson Tide. This one he booms long. Taken by Jeff Trockey on the 9-yard line. Brings it straight up the middle, up to the 30, to the 35. And
nice run back.
Brings it up to about the 34-yard line. Thought he made it to the 35, but he's at the 34. Good run back, Jeff Trockey.
Yeah, he got a head of steam going up the field, didn't he?
It's nice. You really have to watch that play when he catches that. He got up to about the 25-yard line, and you can see him picking his hole out, and then he shifted gears.
Yeah.
Second offensive possession for the Red Tornadoes. And we're going to have movement here against the Red Tornadoes.
I take a moment to apologize for my voice and occasional coughing and clearing in the throat. I have my usual mid-season pneumonia, although my 2 cohorts tell me that it's my problem because I took in so much cold air when I was yelling Slate Man last week. I would just like to say that I was just being exuberant during that interception and touchdown, but they seem to feel that a direct bearing on my health this week. So
it's possible, but mine's not working much better.
Boy, it's unbelievable.
Higgins back to pass, looks at Gonzalo on the fly pattern. Hawley with him, and Hawley blocks him. Hawley actually blocked Joel Gonzalo from going for the ball.
Bad call.
Yeah, there were 2 guys looking at that too.
Yeah, I know.
There were two.
But I mean, Hawley had his 2 hands up and he was blocking.
Right, it was
Joel,
a block.
And he could have had that.
Well, we know where these guys are from this week.
Yeah, we can get them.
Phil gave us a list of where they live, so we'll go down and get them.
Second down and 15 for the Red Tornadoes. Sheptock and Sinkovich in the backfield. This is the inside handoff to Jeff Trockey. Brings it up to the 40, to the 45. Oh, he tripped on the 48-yard line, but first down and 10 Red Tornadoes, and that was a touchdown the way.
Oh, I'll tell you what, they caught Pottsville looking on the inside, and everybody was up. And as soon as he broke through the tackle, and that's how Williamsport beat them.
Right.
Williamsport took care of the tackles and took care of the end. That was it. Once they broke through, they were free.
That one was a touchdown all the way.
Yeah.
1:54 left in the first. 6-0, Crimson Tide in the lead. Mount Carmel with the ball on the 48. Quick handoff to Sheptock. Gain of about 2 or 3 yards. And again, 1 leg tackle there, and he was gone, Wayne.
Oh, yeah. That we're spreading out. We got enough guys out that's getting their defensive backs out of the play altogether, and we have enough speed with Trockey and everybody else that once we get through the linebacker core there, we can pick up some yardage.
Corey Hepler into the Red Tornado lineup at tackle for number 77, Mike Parkansky. Second down and 7. Higgins. Trockey around the left side, fumble on the play on about the 48, brings it back up to about the 40, and he's still on his feet. Jamie O'Brien tried to put the pop on him and missed him, and Jeff stayed on his feet, but the refs feel he stopped his forward progress.
So, what the problem here is we got too many misfires here offensively now. Last series it was penalties and then 2 big quarterback sacks. This time we dropped the ball running around the end. We got to clean the offense up a little bit if you're going to beat a Pottsville team like this. This is a very, very good defensive team.
Joe Gonzalo split far right. Bob Veach at the tight end spot. Shotgun back to Higgins. High snap. Looks like he was looking at Gonzalo, but he was hit hard by number 51 from Pottsville, Kurt Ero. So fourth down, punting situation for the Red Tornadoes.
Well, the center's got to get the snap back a little bit better than that. There's 2 times we went back in the shotgun, and the ball was over Mike's head. So, you're getting back in the shotgun to give the quarterback time to look.
Yastashak in the punt for the Red Tornadoes. Nice punt. Hits on about the 24-yard line, bounces down to about the 15, and Mount Carmel downs the ball on the 15-yard line. Brett Veach with the down for the Red Tornadoes.
This, it's early in the game, but you want to think about this series here, and you need to stop them in this series. If you don't stop the veer this time around, the veer is going to be your nightmare for the rest of this game. Is what's going to happen.
Especially with the wide open field like they have right now.
Yeah.
Once they get down to the goal line inside the 20, our defense took over.
Pottsville with Ruck and O'Brien in the backfield. Art Harris split far right. This is the veer. Fumble on the play, it looked like, but I think Ruck recovered it, and he took it into the middle there. Stopped by Jason Klingerman, also Stosh Puldanovich. Well, that's the end of the first quarter. The score, the Crimson Tide 6, the Red Tornadoes 0.
Let me take a minute here, guys, and read something here. This is entitled Dear Former Tornado. A testimonial dinner will be held for Coach Jazz Dimmick on November 28, 1993 at 6 p.m. at Lazarski's Banquet Hall. Cost of the event will be $15, which includes dinner, refreshments, and a gift for Jazz. Tickets can be purchased at the high school principal's office, Lasansky's Barbershop, and Community Pharmacy. For 31 years, Jazz roamed the sidelines at the Silver Bowl, providing our fans with many thrills and victories. It is only fitting that we honor Jazz in this testimonial to show our appreciation for his accomplishments and service to the school and community. Please join us in this gala event to honor the winningest coach in Pennsylvania. If you need additional information, please call the high school at 339-1500 and extension 1. Thank you, the testimonial committee. That sounds like a pretty big time, guys.
Definitely.
We'll run that by you one more time in the second half if you need any more information. So listen between the third and fourth quarters. Hey, look, it's us. We really are here.
They wanted me on too.
Well, they had the best shot.
Okay.
The guy in the middle was here. That's all you really need.
Back to start the second quarter here. Second down and 7 for the Crimson Tide. Yost snaps the signals. Up the middle to Ruck. Breaks it off the right side and gains only about 3 or 4 yards. Mount Carmel defensing pretty well.
See, the trouble with the veer is, and if you've ever played against it, you'll know this. The veer is relentless. You stop them, 2 yards. You stop them next time for 3 yards, but they just keep coming and coming.
Right.
And the tackle and the end and that linebacker on that side feel the brunt of it every time. And you keep getting hit that many times with the same play, it just starts to wear you down after a while.
Yost on the veer to O'Brien. Good play in there by Stosh Puldanovich and also Corey Hepler. It's going to be close to a first down, but a good defensive play. They held their ground and did what they had to do right there.
He did exactly what you want to do. It's so hard when you're teaching a defensive line, when the defensive line is so aggressive that you're teaching them move with the ball, go, cross the line of scrimmage. Go ahead.
Look at this. Fourth down for the Crimson Tide, and they are on Mount Carmel's. They are on their own 26-yard line, and they're going for it. Now we have to watch they don't try a shift here. Quick quarterback
Ooh,
sneak.
I don't tell you
He
what.
didn't make
I
it.
don't
He
think
did
he
not
did.
make it.
There's no way he got it.
Way to go, Coach Williams.
Big
Good
red.
defensive play for the Red. Jason Rohrbaugh. Who else is in
Chippy.
there? Chippy Klingerman, Jason Klingerman in there. And boy, I'll tell you what, if the Red Tornadoes needed a boost, that was it right
Outstanding.
there.
I'll tell you what, that was
a
extreme
dumb coaching
arrogance.
call, right.
That was
That's
extreme
that's
arrogance
exactly
to call
right.
that this early in the game.
First of all, that's a slap in the face. And you want to
That's
know
right.
another one?
Oh.
I hope they score.
My goodness,
That
what
was a
arrogance
slap
there.
in Mount Carmel's face to try to go for that from there. But first down and 10, Red Tornadoes. Higgins pitches back to Sinkovich. Looks at Veach over in the corner. Broken up by Art Harris, but what a great play. Bob Veach was open for a while.
Harris made a good recovery. He really did because he was fooled.
Yeah, he was. He
But
was
he's-
suckered into that play.
Yeah, he's fast. He's fast. He got over there really quick and broke the pass up.
That one was definitely going in for a touchdown.
Good play by Harris.
10-19 left in the first half. 6-0. Pottsville area in the lead.
It's like Whitey reached into the grab bag a little bit
No,
here.
yeah.
It's like I like to see.
Higgins, Sinkovich off the left side. Breaks it to the right side, and he's hit.
Flag.
And
Double flag.
there's 2 flags on the play.
Face mask?
Well,
Has to be.
I thought I saw a face mask, but I'm not sure what the
Well, if
second
it is, it's
flag's
15 yards because no matter what you do in high school, you meant it.
That's right. For all those people out there that thought that there were 2 penalties on that, and
I
you
think
know,
I'm
an
the only one
incidental.
that thought that, to tell you
Oh,
the
okay.
truth.
All right.
I'm the only guy that believed there was that.
Yeah,
so.
it was only one call. Both officials saw it. Face mask against the Crimson Tide. This is a big one against the Crimson Tide.
You definitely want to put it in the end zone down here because you're going to give the Crimson Tide something to think about after that 4th and inches play. I mean, that's just a lack of respect when you do
yeah.
something like that,
Yeah.
you know.
Okay, this one's going to be 2nd down and inches for the Red Tornadoes. The ball happened from the spot of the foul, which was about 16 yards back. Higgins, quarterback keeper.
Ooh.
First down, Red Tornadoes on about the 12-yard line.
I'll tell you what, every time we run up the center, even with Sheptock running up the center, there's a hole there for 3 or 4 yards.
Yeah, we seem to be doing fairly well in the center of the line.
The interior of the Red Tornado line coming off the ball real well. Ryan Geary in there at center, Mark Burns. Well, we got to see Jamie Rowland, Scott Grady. A lot of people playing in there. Parkansky in there
It's hard
right
to call
now.
who's in there all the time. They move around.
Well,
so much.
Grady's in there right now, along with Jamie Rowland, Corey Hepler, and Parkansky. Pitch back to Brett Veach. Takes it out around the left side. 5 yards, 7 yards maybe. About a 7-yard gain for the Red
Excellent.
Tornado and the young freshman, Brett Veach.
I'll tell you what's nice about that. All season long, we had talked about the linemen going in and out, you know, platooning here and there. And it did 2 things. Number one, it gave them experience. But number 2, once you start playing big teams like Pottsville and Shamokin and Wyoming area coming up pretty soon, it's giving them a rest. In a series, you're out of series, you know?
Yeah.
So it twofold.
Higgins, Sinkovich, spins, turns, fumbles the ball, recovered by the Crimson Tide. Boy, oh boy, oh boy, that was a tough one for the Red Tornadoes.
Yeah, I hate to say it, but that was potentially devastating right there. They're going to really have to buckle that chin strap on right now.
And they had them down.
Oh, so
Whoa,
close.
that was going in.
So close.
Pottsville takes it over, first down and 10 on about the 4-yard line. Yost up the middle to Ruck. Good defensive stop down on the bottom of the pile. 41, Joe Costello, and also number 1, Dave Slater. We have an official's timeout. Art Harris having problems with his helmet on the field. 9:02 left in the first half.
Well, that gives us a chance to tell you we are WKMC TV. We are coming to you from the facilities of the Mount Carmel Area High School campus. You find us on channel 13 of the Service Electric Cable TV system.
Yost tries it to Ruck again off the right side. Big hole. Carries it for a Pottsville first down on the 24-yard line.
Are we WLX 256 anymore?
267.
Oh, sorry, 267.
We were never 256. Maybe
Okay,
you're broadcasting
267.
on 256.
Well, hey, I can't help that.
I couldn't fit the 267 in, so I was going to wait
You
till
didn't
later
even
on. He
fit
was in a hurry.
The microwave channel either.
That is it.
WLX.
We're WLX 267. Are you
Okay,
happy?
back off now.
Jeepers.
Jeez.
First down and 10, Crimson Tide, 8:33 left in the first half. Yost tries it to Jamie O'Brien off the right side. Big hit in there by the Red Tornadoes. Gary Spears in on the tackle, assisted by Jason Rohrbaugh and also Stosh Puldanovich. Second down and 9.
I should apologize, Frenchie. I know you're edgy about this, this Somalia conflict and all. I
That's
jumped
all
on you. I'm sorry.
That's all right. I'm getting my game face on, you know what I mean?
I know what it's like when you're going to have to leave at a moment's notice,
Yost tries the Jamie O'Brien on the inside handoff, read nicely by Joe Costello from his defensive end position and stops him for about a 1-yard loss.
'83's in the game, and 83 is, let me see here, Troy Dubbard. Is he the tight end? Is that where he's lining up at out there?
They call him a split end, actually, but
Split end.
he is tight all the time.
Third down and 8 to go.
Third down and 8 for the Crimson Tide. 7:22 left in the first half. Yost trying it outside the ruck. Knocked out of bounds by Gary Spears on about the 32-yard line. That will not be a first down. Fourth down and about 1 for the Crimson Tide.
Are we going to go for it again?
Well, now they're actually spotting it and looking at it.
The Tide wants to see where it is.
Yeah, Whitey's down there. He's sort of helping out, I think.
They're going to measure it this time. But it's closer than I thought. Gary looked like he had him on about the 32, but we have the players in front of us, and it's hard really guessing where he comes out of bounds. This will be a big play for Crimson Tide to see what they try again here on fourth down, if it is fourth down. The referees bring the chains across the whole field. Rob Menapace in there looking closely to see what the measurement is. And it is a first down for the Crimson Tide.
Well, that was a smart move than to measure because they weren't calling it a first down. That wasn't going to be a first down until they measured it.
$7:12 left in the first half, and Crimson Tide now doing a little ball control right here.
Well, that's the killer to the Veer is even if you're 6 points up, it just chews time up. It just keeps going and going. Nothing fancy, nothing about it. Just keep running the ball. And once you get behind him, it's so hard to catch up with that kind of an offense.
Yost on the inside to Ruck. Finds a hole up the middle, gain of about 9 yards, taken down by John Lashinsky, number 27, Joe Sinkovich, and also assisting in there, 41, which was Joe Costello.
Now this is vintage Crimson Tide, and they're doing just what we said they would do. They have the lead. They're not trying anything fancy. We're seeing very little passing, very little different formations even. Just veered to the left, veered to the right.
Mount Carmel pulls the nose out and goes to a gap defense. Tries it off the right side. Stopped over there, Jason Rohrbaugh in on the tackle. Oh, that's actually 63. Scott Grady was in there.
Yeah.
I thought I got the 60, and
yeah.
he just went in. So
Yeah,
Scott Grady in on the tackle. First down and 10, Crimson Tide on the 44.
And that was a defensive variation you have not seen, I don't think, this year from us. And we heard it last night at Supper Club. That was an 8-man front designed specifically to stop
go in the
veer
gaps?
in short yardage situations. But it didn't work that time as they picked up the first down.
6 minutes and 9 seconds left in the first half. First down and 10, Crimson Tide on the 44. Yost with a long signal count. The veer to Jamie O'Brien, gain of 3, but a good tackle by Josen Kovic.
If you're the linebacker, that's the real killer in the veer of the linebacker, because he's got to come up and make the play in the hole.
Yeah.
If he doesn't make the play, the veer goes, and that's because you're just isolating the block, and all you want there is enough manpower to block the end in the tackle. If you don't get the linebacker up quick, it's over.
5:21 left in the first half. Art Harris split far right, inside, handoff to Ruck, finds a hole. John Lashinsky runs him down, but close to a first down for the Crimson Tide.
That was actually a trap play that time.
Yeah.
They were trapping in the middle.
And that's what they said last night. If our boys that start penetrating too far, they're going to start getting the trap on. I mean, first of all, you run a trap when you're penetrating that far. You don't have to do too much other than just shield the person.
Exactly, right.
We have another timeout for a measurement as they bring the chains back onto the field, but Pottsville taking a slow, meticulous drive from about the 4-yard line and now have it on Mount Carmel's 46.
We've seen it so often. They're just, it's horrible to watch sometimes, the veer, because it just keeps pounding you.
Yeah.
And then you do the veer, you go to the right, to the left a couple of times, and then boom, you go up the middle. Everybody's moving that extra
or the
step
screen
to the veer.
pass or the draw.
Yeah.
Either one of those, right?
The veer sets up some real nice plays for you when you got it rolling. You get everybody conscious of it, and then they nail you up the middle like that.
We remember a couple years ago the screen pass up in Pottsville to either, I think it was to O'Brien or Ruck, and causes some major havoc out there. First down and 10, Crimson Tide. Yost takes the quarterback sneak and gains 4 yards. Corey Hepler in there rolling off the bottom of the pile. Also number 57, Jason Klingerman. But gain of 4 for the Crimson Tide. Right now, Crimson Tide's offensive line shooting off the ball very well, guys.
They're dominating right now in the line of scrimmage.
Yost sets the Crimson Tide. This one's going to O'Brien off the left side and tackled by Stosh Puldanovich and assisted by number 28, Gary Spears. Third down and inches for the Crimson Tide. 3:42 left in the first half. Ball's on the 36-yard line of the Red Tornadoes. Yost pitches back to O'Brien. Tackled by Gary Spears and also in there number 52, Corey Hepler. But that'll be a first down for the Crimson Tide on the 34-yard line.
Looking over on the other sidelines over there, I don't think Coach Keating liked our defense too much. He was trying to get the quarterback's attention. He was trying to call timeout.
Six 0 Crimson Tide in the lead from the Silver Bowl at Mount Carmel. Yost to O'Brien off the right side. Big play. Joe Costello to hold him up and then get the rush from Stosh Puldanovich. And also 57, Jason Klingerman. But a great play by Joe Costello.
Yeah, that's what you want your end doing there. That was everything you'd want to see an end do. He did. And it resulted in a 3-yard loss.
Second down and 14 they have on the close to a 3 or 4 yard loss, right?
And you have to give Joe credit. Joe's a freshman. You know, I don't know if people realize that or not.
Absolutely.
He's playing like a junior or senior right at this point.
Art Harris goes in motion for the Crimson Tide. Rusty Yost on the draw play to O'Brien. Takes it up the middle, but a good tackle made by number 41, Joe Costello, and helped out by Dave Slater. But Cassidy's playing one heck of a football game tonight.
They're not moving much to his side.
You have to give him Shep talk.
Was Shep on that too?
Sheppy was in. He made a dive and tripped him up, and Joe was right on top of his back.
1:55 left in the first half, and Pottsville has controlled this for nearly 8.5 minutes.
Yeah, they've had the ball, seems like forever. That's what the veer does to you.
Yost fakes the handoff to Ruck. Rolling out, looks at O'Brien. Intercepted by Bob Veach. And Veachy runs it out of bounds on about the 28-yard line. Great read by the free safety of the Red Tornadoes. Bob just read that one all the way.
Excellent. How many times this year we've seen him do that? He sits back. Quarterback comes up, throws the ball, and he's right in front of the receiver with a great interception there.
Well, I'll tell you what, he keeps inching forward, though, to the mark. He's getting closer and closer to the all-time. It's 9.
9, and he's up to 7.
He's at 7 now.
Right.
So
1:31 left in the first half, and the saddest thing here is that Mount Carmel could have used a little more time by intercepting that ball, but we'll see what happens here. Mike Higgins sets up the Red Tornadoes. Tries one up the middle. Sean Sheptock gains about a half a yard, so Mount Carmel will have a second down and 10, 1:17 on the clock.
I'll tell you what, that was a beautiful drive by Pottsville. They didn't do anything fancy, but I'll tell you what, our defense did a heck of a job.
Great job.
With the veer, they were only, pick up 3-4 yards.
Higgins, quick pass to Gonzalo. Takes it on about the 32-yard line, 32-yard line, is tackled there for about a 3-yard gain. 48 seconds left on the clock, and a timeout called by the Red Tornadoes.
See, the trouble with that play now is it's a successful play, but now it's only successful for shorter yards because you never see Gonzalo catch the pass without 2 guys next to him.
Right.
Before, in the beginning of the season, if he made that spin move, if he spun from the 1, he had some room. But now, they're defending that really well now, so it's harder for him to make yardage when you have 2 guys covering you like that.
Well, what helped with that play before, though, is we always had Jeff Chalky going down, clearing out the zone for Joel.
That could have been the test play, though, to see if it is open over there. He didn't put Jeff over there that time, but get an idea of how they're playing the defense on Joel when he's over there by himself. Because really, Coach Williams has not had the ball that much to really check his offense out and see what kind of defensive formations they're throwing at him.
Yeah, he's having a harder time adjusting because he doesn't have the ball. You're right.
Higgins in the shotgun. Looking at Trocky over the middle. Trocky breaking down, in and out, off his fingertips on about the 25-yard line, but what a great throw from Higgins to Trocky. Mount Carmel with 40 seconds on the clock, though, now in a punting situation.
I'll tell you what, though, that was double coverage, and he threw the ball between them, and I'll tell you what.
It was close.
Another step, and he was gone. He had it. That's amazing.
That just shows you the speed that Jeff has and, and the great accuracy and arm that Higgins has.
Yastashak in the punt. Kicks it away from the Crimson Tide, but Harris runs over and gets it
clip right there.
On about the 40-yard line and run down by Dan Slater on about the 22-yard line. He chased Art Harris 15 yards backwards.
Now, you're going to do that again.
Yeah.
You got to tap me on the back
because
last week I couldn't hear for
right,
3 days
take
after.
Take your headsets off a minute, both of you.
Okay, here we
Ready?
go. Go ahead.
Slater!
All right, excellent. Okay.
You guys are such babies.
30 seconds left in the first half. Red Tornado defense back on the field. Crimson Tide's offense, and the clock starts running.
I'll tell you what, the score is, at least it is right now, 6-0. If it remains that way, it's going to be kind of funny when you see the stats. So they're going to be awful ugly when you read these for only a 6-0 game at the half.
Tries Ruck on the veer. Tackle made in there by number 71. Bill Anderson was in there, and also looked like number 44, Sheptock. But that's going to be the end of the first half. The final score, or the halftime score, the Crimson Tide 6, the Red Tornadoes 0. But the Tornadoes hung tough, guys.
Good half. It was a good half.
I thought they did. We haven't seen the veer that much. and the way Pottsville runs it, and they're accustomed to running that for years in, years out. And I thought we did a heck of a job on it.
We'll be back with homecoming in one moment. Highlighting tonight's game with Pottsville is the crowning of the 1993 Homecoming Queen. Homecoming is a traditional event at Mount Carmel area, with many young women competing for the honor of being crowned Homecoming Queen. Members of the senior and junior classes voted for their choices this past week. At this time, we would like to introduce to you the 3 senior candidates and the 2 junior representatives that have been chosen by their respective classes. Our first senior candidate is Miss Stacy Trocchi. She is being escorted by senior member of the football team, Aaron Chicatano. Stacy is the daughter of Mr. and Mrs. Michael Trocchi, 341 West 4th Street, Mount Carmel. Her activities are Students Against Drunk Driving, Stand Tall, Big Sister, Powder Puff Football, cheerleader for 4 years, member of the news staff and the broadcasters, Pep Club, Ski Club, Spanish Club President, Future Teachers of America, Key Club, Biology Club, basketball for 4 years, softball for 4 years, and intramural volleyball and junior representative of the 1992 Homecoming Court. Her future plans are to attend a 4-year college. Our second senior candidate is Miss Carolyn Darup. She is being escorted by senior member of the football team, Joe Sinkovich. Carolyn is the daughter of Jim and Kathy Darup, 251 West Avenue, Mount Carmel. Her activities include basketball, track, cheerleading, biology, Spanish clubs, Future Teachers of America, SAD, and Stand Tall. Her future plans are to attend a 4-year school and major in arts and sciences. Our third senior candidate is Miss Paula Verano. She is being escorted by senior member of the football team, Bob Veach. Paula is the daughter of James and Yolanda Verano, 1034 Scott Street, Culpmont. Her activities include member of the National Honor Society, co-captain of the cross-country team, track team, Powder Puff football team. Paula is also a 6-year member of the band, a big sister, French Club, SAD, Stand Tall, Prom Promise, Future Nurses of America. Paula attended the Keystone Girls State this past summer at Shippensburg University, and she was also a member of the 1992 Field Day Court. Her future plans are to attend a 4-year college and major in nursing. Our first junior candidate is Miss Alexis Handerhan. She is being escorted by senior member of the football team, John Lashinsky. Alexis is the daughter of Rita Handerhan, 143 West Girard Street, Atlas. Her activities are SAD, Stand Tall, Prom Promise, vice president of the forensics team, Key Club, Future Teachers of America, Biology Club, Latin Club, Spark, and Big Sisters. Her future plans are to attend college and study law. Our second junior candidate is Miss Laurie Hooper. She is being escorted by senior member of the football team, Jason Klingerman. Laurie is the daughter of Marianne and Donald Hooper, 441 North Walnut Street, Mount Carmel. Her activities include Officer of Stand Tall, SAD, Health Occupations, and VOTEC. Her future plans are to attend a nursing school. And now the final moment of anticipation has arrived. So at this time, I would like to introduce to you the 1993 Homecoming Queen, Miss Stacy Trocchi. Crowning Stacy will be Rob Menapace, a senior member of the football team. While the crowning is taking place, Jeff Trocchi and Dave Slater, also senior members of the football team, will present the homecoming queen with flowers and members of the court with gifts. Rob Menapace and Stacy Trocchi posing for pictures on the 50-yard line of the Silver Bowl. The Queen and her court are being escorted to their seats, and we would like to take this opportunity to thank Mr. Ronnie Chicatano and Lipinski Lumber Company for their cooperation in making tonight's homecoming activities a success. We'll be back with halftime highlights with Warren in one moment.
Okay, gang, we're here at the first half statistics, and they're pretty much what you saw out there. Mount Carmel area rushed the ball 15 times for a total of 17 yards. We passed 1 time out of 4 for 4 yards. We had 3 first downs. Individually, Sinkovich ran the ball 4 times for a -1. Sheptok 3 for 7 yards. Trocki 3 for 16 yards, and Bobby Beach 1 for 9 yards. In the reception department, individually, we had 1 reception. Gonzalez 1 for 4 yards. Pottsville, on the other hand, rushed the ball 29 times for 136 yards. They passed 1 time, and it was incomplete. They had 8 first downs, and we have a little extra here now from Jose this time. We have time of possession. This was a new one for us. Mount Carmel area had the ball for 8 minutes and 36 seconds. Pottsville, 15 minutes and 24 seconds. You can see, if you thought you saw a lot of the Crimson Tide offense, you did. In the play department, Mount Carmel had 19 offensive plays in the first half. The Crimson Tide 30. Now, all this means nothing because the score says it's 6-0. But what you can see here is the Pottsville Crimson Tide offense, at least, which was on the field almost the entire first half, racking up a lot of yards in the ground, nothing in the air, and that's pretty much what we told you was going to happen. Now, if it continues the way we feel it will, you're going to see them continue to pound the veer. I think one of their rushers, I think it's Ruck, is already over 100 yards rushing. So stay tuned for the second half and see if we made any changes and if we start being a little bit more offensive ourselves. We'll see in about a minute.
Back to start the second half. Crimson Tide in the lead, 6-0. Talked to the coaches as they came up, coming up into the box here, Warren, and they're confident. They feel good about what they saw. They would have liked to stuff the touchdown in, but they feel good about how they played.
Yeah. See, I don't know that because they won't talk to me. I keep trying, but they just keep walking right by me all the time.
Wonder why.
I don't know why. We have guests in here, too. They left.
They're going to...
we had women here, but they left in a second, which is the story of 3 of our lives.
Jason Klingerman, the kickoff for the Red Tornadoes. Jamie O'Brien, Art Harris, and Kurt Bruck deep for the Crimson Tide. I guess right now this is a big defensive series for the Red Tornadoes.
Well, you want to think that. I mean, there's a whole half of football here, but you certainly can't get down any more than you are at the minute, with the veer.
Ruck takes it on the 15, breaks the hole, and tackled in there by number 30, Kyle Sokoler. That one was gone.
Yeah. We didn't tackle well on that play, to tell you the truth. He should have been down before that.
All you have to do, the defense has to kick in right away and get possession of the ball. They don't want Pottsville taking over like they did in the second quarter and running the clock all the way down to 1 minute and 38 seconds until you get the ball.
Yeah, you can't afford that, that's for sure.
Doug Hawley and Art Harris split far right for the Crimson Tide. Try it up the middle, Joe Costello, also assisted by Jason Rohrbaugh, but boy, Costello playing a great left defensive end right now.
Must have been the dinner he had last night.
Second down and 10 for the Crimson Tide.
You have to give, I'll tell you what, you do have to give Costello and Putanovic all the credit in the world. And I'll tell you what, veer is very, very difficult because I used to run it when I coached. And
fake this time. Yost tried to pass. Now he's breaking the ball away. Great play, Joe Costello again, holding his ground and a good tackle.
I'll tell you what, though, I don't quite understand that play because he dropped back the pass and he fooled everybody. There was no rush.
Oh, right, yeah.
But he immediately tucked the ball in and started running. Was that a design, you think, or was that a pass? He had 2 receivers in the pattern only, and both were running deep.
And they were wide open.
Yeah,
Number 40 was wide open.
I don't know what that play was. I don't know if he was supposed to run then or what he was supposed to do.
Third down and 8 for the Crimson Tide early in the second half. O'Brien goes in motion. Yost back to pass. Looks at O'Brien. Big rush from Stosh. Pulled it over.
Yeah.
And we have flags on the play. Two
Stosh.
great. The defensive ends playing great for the Red Tornadoes right now.
Stosh.
And let me, just getting back to what I was saying about the defensive ends, while we have a flag here and they're making up their mind what's going on. On the veer play, you really have 3 plays to run off that. You have the quick dive off right at the tackle.
Right.
You got the quarterback keeper if he doesn't hand off, and if he decides not to run it, he can pitch it because the flare man is coming around behind the quarterback.
Yeah, trailing the play.
Yeah, trailing the play. So the defensive end has to make a decision split second.
Mm-hmm.
Is he handing it off? And he has to really see the ball as that fullback's getting the ball into the tackle hole.
Yeah.
And these guys are doing an outstanding job.
Yeah, because there's nobody in high school here running the
No.
veer better than Pottsville does. It's what they do.
Holding against the Crimson Tide declined. Big snap back to Yost. Gets the kick off, but it's a bad kick. And it goes out of bounds on about the 34-yard line. First down and 10 Red Tornadoes.
Big rush by number 69, John. You see Sack there. 69 is that 59, Bob?
59.
59,
Is
Mark
that 59?
Burns.
59
Mike Burns.
yeah.
There you go.
It's hard to tell that with his jersey. He has
Yeah,
it tucked underneath his shoulder pad. You can't see where it ends at. I'll tell you what, big series for
Big
Reed. They
defensive
came out
series.
Fired up.
fire there, Jeebers.
Higgins sets the Red Tornadoes. Joel Gonzalo split far left. Jeff Trocchi to the right. Back to pass. Looks at Gonzalo. Blocked by number 83. 83 for the Crimson Tide made a great play there. That was Troy Daubert, and then he nearly intercepted the ball.
Mm-hmm.
He sort of went about 1.5 miles up in the air.
Yeah, he's a big kid, though. Look at the size of that guy. I mean, when he gets off the ground, you're looking at a tall target there. He had 99, I think. 99 over there is a real tall, big kid, too.
Second down and 10 for the Red Tornadoes. Brett Veach into the lineup for the Red Tornadoes at tailback. Pitch to Veach. Hit by number 60 from the Crimson Tide. That's a tackle made by Jeremy Sipple. So a loss of about 2 yards. Another long third down play for the Red Tornadoes. Corey Hepler in at left tackle for the Red Tornadoes. Mike Parkansky comes out. Higgins from the shotgun with trips right. High snap back to about the 45-yard line. Higgins picks it up. Big rush on. Looks to throw the ball, and he's going to be sacked on the 32-yard line. A loss of 33 yards for the Red Tornadoes.
Yeah, I didn't think he could lose that much on
Wow.
the play. My goodness.
Fourth down and 44 for the Red Tornadoes.
It doesn't take much for the center now. It's 3 or 4 times that it's gone over his head like that, just to look back just a little bit.
John Yastashak in the punt. Gets a
Nice.
good kickoff. Fair catch called for by Hawley on the 38-yard line. First down and 10, Crimson Tide.
And the pitiful part about that is he just kicked it back to the original line of scrimmage where it was at, where we started. So
My goodness, that was a loss.
Well, they're putting it in the hands of the Red Tornado defense again. 8:25 left in the third quarter, and Mount Carmel cannot let Pottsville sustain a drive here.
No, first of all, you got to take the defense off the field. They've been on the field too long already in this game.
Yost sets the Crimson Tide, the 8-man line in there for the Red Tornadoes. Ruck tries it off the right side. Jason Klingerman in on the tackle. Assisted by 41, Joe Costello, and also number 27, John Lashinsky. Second down and 6. No, that wasn't the 8-man. It looked like they were in gaps there. I thought they were in gaps, but
that was an 8.
no, they have the nose in there. Yost to Ruck. Off the right side. Good tackle made by Corey Hepler and also Joe Costello.
You're only going to see the 8-man line, and I believe in a short yardage
Sean
situation.
Sheptock down on the bottom of the pile also.
Yeah, not on 1st and 10. You won't see that. I don't think that happened. That's more of a short yardage defense there.
Another big third down play for the Red Tornado defense.
Well, third down, they're going to go to the white side, and that would be the Pottsville side of the field. With the veer.
All right.
7:19 left in the third.
Stepping out on the old limb, are we, Frenchie?
Hey.
All right.
You got it.
Living dangerous.
And they're going to the wide side to Jamie O'Brien.
Oh, right, defense.
Big pop in there by the Red Tornado defense. Jason Klingerman getting up. Also, Rohrbaugh and Joe Costello over there. Stosh Puldanovich. 4th down and 3. Good defensive plays for the Red Tornadoes.
A little bit different strategy. We sent in the punting team now this time. Did you notice that?
Yeah, that was a mistake he made that he got away with.
Yeah.
But that's a true bona fide coaching error when you do that.
Number 10, Rusty Yost, will be back to punt.
We're having a lineup problem here, guys. You can
We
hear
got
them
it.
yelling.
They got her now. Snap,
Ooh,
another high
high
snap.
one.
Yost gets the ball, kicks it in the direction of Sinkovic.
Oh,
Ball
get out of
bounces
there,
on about the
Chippy.
24-yard line and will be down by the Crimson Tide. 1st down and 10, Red Tornadoes.
Got to keep your head up there and watch
Yeah.
where it's coming. Almost hit Chippy that time. The gap attack almost got hit in the helmet.
6:25 left in the third quarter. Higgins goes on to the field to direct the Red Tornadoes.
Well, we can generate a little bit of offense now, and
I think we're going to have to.
our defense is doing a great job against this team.
Trockey split far right for the Red Tornadoes. That one's going to be offside called against the Crimson Tide.
A little nose guard down there.
Now, see
Now
that?
he's pointing at 26 different people, but
Right.
I don't think he's going to get away with this. I don't know. Maybe he is. Nah,
No,
he's
I
not.
didn't-
He
I
tried
didn't see
hard,
any
but you know,
movement.
he tried hard on
Yeah.
that one. He was pointing at everybody.
Now you see now he was in the neutral zone,
Right.
and
Right.
and the referee waited.
Yeah.
The,
See,
head-
I don't,
the
I
lineman
don't
waited
understand
until the
that.
ball was snapped.
I don't understand it. We're going to have to get this clarified again. In fact, if I have to, I'm going to bring Thurway right up in his booth one of these games and get these things straightened out for us.
1st down and 5. Handoff, Sinkovic, gain of about 1 yard to the 30-yard line.
We're in the 8th game of the season, and we're still debating on what it is we're supposed to be calling it. Look how sharp we are, huh?
Well, we don't have to call it. We don't have the stripes on.
No, true, but we're arguing it back and forth
That's
all
right.
the time, yeah.
5:39 left in the third quarter. Higgins sets the Red Tornadoes. Inside handoff to Brett Veach. Gains about 1 yard. 3rd down and 2.
I think myself, I think they need to get a first down. I don't think they can let the defense on the field
No.
all the time like that because the veer is gonna break one long is what's gonna happen. You're gonna
Well,
relax a second or two, and that's when you get nailed. You've got to sustain a little bit of even if you don't score in this particular series, you need to get a first down, I think, to stay in the game.
Higgins. Handoff to Sinkovic, and that one's not going to go for more than about a half a yard. 4th down and 1 for the Red Tornadoes. 4:53 left in the third, and they're in a punting situation.
Now, see, I think this is going to hurt us in the long run now. The fact that we cannot move offensively.
Well, the other thing is John's got to get the ball off a little bit quicker. I think he's waiting a little bit too long.
Snaps it back to Yastashak.
Nice.
Sends it in the direction of Hawley. Hawley's going to take a fumble.
Fumble!
And the ball bounces on the play. Mount Carmel bouncing around on it. It looks
I
like
got
the
no
Red
idea.
Tornadoes have it. They do.
Yes, they
the
do.
Red Tornadoes have the ball on about the 15.
All right, excellent.
And who was down there? Slate Man! The Slate Man was down there! Harris
Excellent.
is shaking up.
Also,
24.
Mark Burns, 24, Art Harris shaken up. I was trying to figure out who recovered it. Did Dave?
I couldn't see who
okay.
recovered it.
They really jumped on number 59 from the Red Tornadoes, which is Mark Burns. I'm not sure. Slate Man was there. Mark Burns was there. Timeout called and Mount Carmel
Excellent.
now has an opportunity to stuff one in.
Yeah, you got to give Slateman the big credit there. He was in his face as he was about to catch the ball, and that kid took his eye off the ball to look at Slater, and it went right through his arms.
Yeah, the punt was beautiful because it took off, it turned over, and it was a high punt, gave us great coverage underneath. And what happened was he had to turn a half a step to catch it over his shoulder a little bit. It wasn't a straight-on punt for him. And when he did that, he did look at Slater, and that's all it took.
Yeah. Now, I was just about to say that he needs to get a good punt off because one of the things that was occurring here was field position was beginning to shift back to them again.
Right.
They were getting the line of scrimmage each time closer to the 50, and soon they would have been in our territory at the rate they were going. And I thought it was important at least to get a good punt off, but this is much better than a good punt.
Yes, it was.
Boy, I'll tell you what, that bounced for good
Well, let me
10
tell you
seconds rolling around on the ground with
You
everybody
know who
trying
really
for
did
it.
that? Number 24 for Pottsville did tackle Slater. Slater had the ball and could have picked it up and ran with it, and he tackled him.
Higgins fakes the handoff, looks in the end zone, tucks the ball away, and is down for a 4-yard loss.
Now, if you don't capitalize on this one,
Right.
I think you're in trouble. I really do. And I hate to say that in the third quarter, but you need to get some points out of this. You can't keep coming down like this and then walking away with nothing. It just can't happen.
Well, I'll tell you what, Frank Keating's calling a blitz. He's not even calling a blitz. He's just telling everybody rush.
Right.
He's telling them to go. He's on the sideline
All you have
telling
to
them
do
to
is
go.
hit a flare pass. If that's the case.
Back to pass. Higgins.
Throw.
Looking. At Gonzalo. Over his hands and over the hands of Jeff Trocchi in the goal. Down in the end zone. So it'll be 3rd down and 17.
That's what you're saying about blitz, right? They showed yet they didn't.
Boy, we
blitz.
held
They
them that
backed-
time.
No, they
But
backed
did they
away
back
off
away?
the blitz. Yeah, they went back into a full coverage mode. And when you said that, I was thinking, holy goodness, they got everybody up there. But they backed away from it quick.
3:35 left in the third quarter. 6-0. Crimson Tide in the lead over the Red Tornado.
Now, I think you'll see it here.
Yeah.
Higgins.
There it is.
Fakes the handoff to Veach. Lots of
Mike,
time.
Come on, Mike.
Looks in the corner of the end zone for Gonzalo and knocked away by Doug Hawley. Good play by Hawley, but that one was just thrown up to the corner of the end zone hoping that Gonzalo could get it.
Great play here would be roll to the right. Look at the left side of the field. Nobody's here. Release a halfback out of the field maybe and come this way.
I might even run a screen pass here.
That is true.
You know they're coming.
4th down and 17.
There's a Tide player down on the other side of the field. That's the holdup.
So we have an official's timeout here for a Pottsville player that's down.
I'll tell you what, they've taken some shots.
Yeah.
Pottsville has.
It's tough though. See, I mean, here you are. It's 4th and 17.
Now it's fourth,
always
right.
It's always more than 10 yards
It's
to
been
go.
the long, right.
That's the killer. The offense just doesn't operate well like that. I mean, all your plays are a little bit different now because of being 17 yards back.
And it's a throw, because he's got to get back, 7 yards, 10 yards
You're
behind
just-
his line.
You
now.
increase everything as you go, and that's the killer to it.
.326 left in the third quarter. Pottsville player up and walking off. So Mount Carmel brings it out with 4th down and 17. We go back into the shotgun formation.
Now we're running trips right.
Snaps back. Higgins gets it. Looks in the corner of the end zone.
There he is.
Bob Veach. Incomplete.
Hey, what? That wasn't a bad play, though.
No, it wasn't.
Not a bad play.
Well, I tell you what, they had lots of time that time. The line did very good job blocking. 1st down and 10, Crimson Tide, and this is another big defensive stand for these Red Tornadoes out here, the young defense. Trips right for the Crimson Tide. Ruck comes up and carries the ball for a 5-yard gain. Joe Sinkovich and Joe Costello down on the bottom of the pile on the tackle. Second down and 3. And it's nice when you get that second and third down that are only 3 yards to go.
That's the difference. I mean, that's the difference of the whole game right now. I don't think we've had a third and 3 or 4 to go the whole game. We haven't, in fact. I don't have to think it. There was none.
Randy Yost, hands off up the middle. Comes around from behind Joe Costello, but helped by number 52, Corey Hepler.
Well, now you can see we sort of took Keating out of his game plan a little bit, I think, in this series of downs. The score is 6-0. We did have the ball down in scoring position, but he's now running trips. He's trying to spread the defense out wide, hoping to break through the line.
Mm-hmm.
Third down and 2. Big third down play for the Red Tornadoes. Here comes the trips to the right side of the field. Yost inside the rock. Good play by Joe Sinkovich, and also in there, number 66, Jason Rohrbaugh. So it'll be a 4th down and about 1 for the Crimson Tide punting situation.
I'll tell you what, you watched Joey Sinkovich on that play. He read that perfect.
Yeah, he knew it. I was going to say
he was sliding off to the gap side,
where
to the guard side. Yeah, but he knew exactly.
Outstanding defense by the Tornadoes. 1:39 left in the third quarter. Rusty Yost back to punt, and it's been interesting, all the punts. High snaps, fumbles.
Everything, yeah. Ooh, there's another one.
There it is. Over Yost's head, big rush on. Almost blocked. Bounces
Get out of there.
on about the 46-yard line. First down and 10, Red Tornadoes. And I bet Pottsville right now doesn't want to punt anymore.
Well, I bet you
one of these is going to go over
We're having
his
a
head.
long talk with that center right now.
Yeah.
I'll say that for them. I don't know what he's doing in there, but it's not what you want. He's having a heck of a time right now getting the ball back there.
1:14 left in the third quarter. Higgins brings the Red Tornadoes to the line. 6-0, Crimson Tide in the lead, but what a great performance from the Red Tornadoes. Higgins, back to pass. Looks at Veach breaking down the field, and he had to stop, and he actually broke it up, but he was running there. He had it wide open. Second down and 10.
Beautiful play action. I mean, that just held the linebackers right in place, the fake dive. That was really nice.
That was a good play, and it really was. You just didn't connect on it, but everything went the way you wanted there.
Well, Veach did a nice job of coming down and breaking it up away from Art Harris. He had to worry more about not letting the interception happen.
Mm-hmm.
Second down and 10. Shotgun formation. Snap, high snap, over Higgins' head. Back to the 25-yard line. Picks the ball up, and he's sacked for another 30-yard loss. And, boy, Mount Carmel just can't put it together on offense.
Well, the first thing I'm going to say now is come out of the shotgun immediately.
Right.
Pull yourself out of the shotgun now and get back to the regular offense, okay? We can work the kinks out of the shotgun later on. This is devastating.
Yeah, that's 2 times. Now you're back, another 20 yards there.
This is devastating. Come out of the shotgun now and go back to the regular offense.
Third down and 35.
I don't think I've seen that many yards that far back. That's twice in one game.
Right.
It's definitely a new thing for us.
Higgins rolls to his right. Looks at Sinkovich coming out of the backfield, in and out of his hands on the 30-yard line. Fourth down and 35 for the Red Tornadoes.
Well, the passing game's a little out of sync here, maybe, but.
Well, in the last couple series that we've run the ball and passed, they did not put any pressure on. Now, I don't know whether they're dropping back in a prevent defense and hoping that their defensive backs can take it and looking for the run, looking for the draw play or whatever.
Yeah, it's a Shaq with a big punt taken by Art Harris on the 48-yard line. Hit on the 49-yard line by Joe Costello.
I can see 41 already there.
Boy, I'll tell you what a heck of a game from this young freshman tonight.
Oh, my goodness. He's having the game of his short career already. He's got so many more to come. It's amazing. But what a player. But now you've got to start worrying about the defense. My goodness, you can't play defense this long during a game.
Well, here it is. Now they're on the 49.
Yeah,
they gained actually 30 yards on that series.
Yeah, this is what happens, and that's why it's so sad for the defense.
Yost back to pass. Looks on the fly pattern to Art Harris, And over his head on the 24-yard line, covered nicely by Dave Slater.
Well, one of the things we heard.
You know what? Can I just jump in?
Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Wayne's right. Keating is way out of his game plan to start with a pass play. I mean, that's not Pottsville football.
Yeah. And they're not known. That's what I was about to say. They're just not known for it. Yost is not going to be called a passing quarterback in any stretch of the imagination. They don't pass the ball well. They're uncomfortable passing the ball. So when he passes the ball, it's a little bit of desperation, I think, coming out of there.
7 seconds left in the third. Yost pitches back to O'Brien, out around the left side. Nice job by Joe Sinkovich for a 2-yard gain. And he put a hit on Jamie O'Brien.
And the Sinks having a game out there, too.
The end of the third quarter, the score, the Crimson Tide 6, the Red Tornadoes 0.
Okay, remember I told you I'd be doing this. Now get ready and get your pencils ready. A testimonial dinner will be held for Coach Jazz Dimnick on November 28th, 1993 at 6 p.m. at Lazarski's Banquet Hall. Cost of the event will be $15, which includes your dinner, refreshments, and a gift for Jazz. Tickets can be purchased at the high school principal's office, Lasansky's Barbershop, and Community Pharmacy. For 31 years, Jazz roamed the sidelines at the Silver Bowl, providing our fans with many thrills and victories. It is only fitting that we honor Jazz in this testimonial to show our appreciation for his accomplishments and service to the school and the community. Please join us in the gala event to honor the winningest coach in Pennsylvania. If you need additional information, please call the high school 339-1500, ask for extension 1.
This is it, fourth quarter.
Well,
but I said if Mount Carmel was close in the fourth quarter, they had a shot at it. And I believe that firmly. I didn't want to see Pottsville up here with a 18-point lead. I really think this is a shot for them. Big third down play here now for the Red Tornado defense. Yost, he's going to go with the option. Uh-oh, it's a pass to Art Harris all by himself on the 20-yard line. Run down by Bob Veach and Joe Sinkovich on the 4, but a good play from the Crimson Tide.
Great play. That was a great play. That was an absolute great play. Keating, that was a great play. And it may have been a backbreaker at the same time.
Right.
Great play. That's exactly what you want to do. That's exactly how you want to handle something like that.
And they placed the ball on the 2-yard line. So it's first down and goal to go. I thought they did hit him on the 4, but he fell forward to the 2.
Yeah, that was a good play.
11:42 left in the ball game. 6-0, Crimson Tide in the lead. Yost sets the Crimson Tide. O'Brien and Ruck in the backfield. O'Brien with the quarterback keeper. And he's going to be on about the 1-inch line.
No,
One official has his hands halfway.
Well, he gave it the touchdown. Okay. Touchdown, Crimson Tide. That makes it 12-0, Crimson Tide.
Now we're going to see the 2-point conversion play here this time. I think it'll be the real one. I don't know what we saw the first time around, but I'm pretty sure this will be the real play they come out with this time.
Yeah, they called timeout here. And with their backs, they're going to probably string it out and try to run wide.
You see, it's interesting with this team because you don't know this for sure, but you wouldn't think that the pass would be the way to go, where most teams pass for that 2-point conversion or have a play like that. This team you pretty much know is going to try to run it. At least that's what you would think they would do. It's what they do best.
Coach Connolly in with the Red Tornado defense right now going over some strategy. But I guess the strategy is from the offensive side. We have to put some points on the board now.
There's no doubt about it. The pressure is all on the offense from here on in. But I firmly believe, and again, this is just us three up here watching the game and giving our opinion. We're not the coaches and we're not calling the plays, but I think you need to get rid of the shotgun for now.
Oh, yeah.
We're rattled in the shotgun. We're having a problem there. Let's get back to the other offense and see what we can do that way and play the fourth quarter that way.
Tries a fake up the middle of the ruck. He's running with the option. He's going to try to take it into the corner of the end zone himself.
Beautiful.
No. They called it good, and he was not, from our standpoint, in the end zone.
Oh, he took him out before he crossed.
He was hit right on the sideline there. Who's getting up? Stosh Puldanovich hit him on the 1 yard line.
Yeah, Stosh is holding his. Oh no, he's just adjusting himself there.
I think he's holding and adjusting at the
Whoa,
same time.
baby. He put him back at least 2 to 3 yards after he hit him.
I don't think he went in, to be truthful with you. I really don't think he was in.
I don't think so either.
Well, the ref did signal good. They have not put the points on the board. Now they have.
Jose's really upset down there.
14
So right
to
now,
nothing,
I would
Crimson
say,
Tide.
I would say they did not go in.
I'd say they didn't go in either. I don't know what that guy was watching.
That all happened at least on the 1 yard line. From our
Yeah.
vantage point here, at least on the 1
It's
yard
hard
line.
to call it because it's in the corner from where we are, but I don't know. But there, going back to what I was saying to you, that wasn't a pass play. That was not
No,
a pass
no.
play.
No, that was
He
run
was
all the
running
way.
that all the way.
Yeah.
This one's going to be taken by Veach on about the 16-yard line. Finds a hole up the middle and breaks it to about the 34-yard line. First down and 10, Red Tornadoes. 11-14 left in the ball game. That was a crushing two-point play, too, because, Mount Carmel needed that to stay at 12-0.
Mm-hmm. You got to generate some offense. Simple as that. You need to generate some offense right now.
Joel Gonzalo, Bob Veach, and Jeff Trocchi split far left. Higgins tries it up the middle to Sinkovich. Big tackle made by number 83, Troy Daubert. Second down and 9. Brett Veach, the lone setback for the Red Tornadoes. Higgins rolls a little bit, steps up in the pocket, tucks the ball away, runs with it, and gains about 4 or 5 yards to the 43-yard line. Mount Carmel will have a third down and 2.
Timeout, Pottsville. There's a coach in the sideline over in Pottsville.
Kevin.
Had an absolute fit
Keating.
over
that
there.
was
Is that
Coach
who-
Keating.
the head coach?
Yep, he's the head coach.
So he had an absolute fit over on the sideline about something. And now he's bringing it to the attention of the referee, whatever it was. My goodness, he was, shall we say, demonstrative over on the sideline.
Well, the only thing I saw was Jeff Trocchi by himself down the sideline, but I thought that's what he was coming out to tell
I
his
thought he was going to
players.
tell him,
that.
but he's yelling at the
But now he's at the
referee.
officials, right?
I don't know what he's yelling about. I didn't see
Maybe
anything.
we have a Mount Carmel clock working for us.
I don't know.
10
Oh.
minutes and 8 seconds left in the ball game.
He's still talking. I don't know if he's still
Yeah,
talking
he is.
to them.
He's-
He's got them
his
all over
hat's
there.
off now. Yeah.
Is that a bad thing when your hat comes off?
Hey.
It's a bad thing.
Yeah.
It's a bad thing.
Well, I don't think I'd be too upset with a 14-0 lead right now and the breaks that have gone for Mount Carmel and not been able to capitalize on
Yeah,
them.
we just couldn't put the ball in the end zone so far. Well, while he's out there, let me tell you once again, ladies and gentlemen, you're listening to the KMC TV. We're broadcasting on a microwave signal WLX267 for Frenchie.
Ooh, that was sharp.
We are an instructional fixed television service. We're broadcasting out of the facilities on the Mount Carmel Area High School campus. And you can find us on Channel 13, 8 o'clock Wednesdays on the Service Electric Cable System. Okay?
I don't know if I like your tone of voice.
Third down and 1. Sheptok and Sinkovich in the backfield. And now I'm not too sure what they're doing. They held up the game there for a little bit. Third down and 1 for the Red Tornadoes. Higgins to Sinkovich. Finds a hole. First
Good boy,
down to
Joey.
the 50-yard line.
Good boy. Nice run.
We needed a first down.
Yeah, you have to give credit to the right side of the line. Our tackle there in our end really blew a big hole in there.
We needed to remember what a first down was, to tell you the truth. It's been a while since we had one.
Jeff Trocchi split left. Joel Gonzalo to the right. Quick handoff up the middle to Sean Sheptok. Gain of 4 yards. Second down and 6, 9:40 left on the clock in the ball game. Higgins pitches to Brett Veach. Finds a hole, carries it to the 40-yard line, close to the first down for the Red Tornadoes.
If they spot it right on the line, it's a first down.
I think they should. I thought that's where he was, right on the line.
He doesn't even look. There you go.
First down. That's 2 in a row, the first time we did it all game.
Higgins sets the Tornadoes. Quick drop back. Looks at Trockey out in the flat. In and out of his hands for a, that would have been a first down also. Second down and 10.
Tell you what, number 83 for Pottsville has reaction unbelievable. There's another time right now that he got his hands up. He must look right into Higgins' face and watch his eyes, because as soon as he's ready to release, he's up in the air.
Yeah, that time he didn't block Higgins as much as he did Trockey, I think.
Right.
I think Trockey could see the ball coming out there until the last second.
Higgins has the ball on the hurry-up play and runs out of bounds on the 42-yard line. That was a handoff to Sinkovic. Sinkovic pitched back the ball to Higgins, and then they were looking at Bob Veach down on about the 5-yard line.
He's up a 3rd and 11 now.
8:49 left in the ball game. Trockey goes in motion. Gonzalo already split left. Higgins drop back. Looks at Gonzalo coming across the middle of the field, and he's close to a first down, but he had to come back for the ball, so he's going to be a half-yard short.
He made a good play, and I think we're going to have to go here. You're not going to punt the ball.
There's no reason to punt the ball.
You're going to go for it here. It's going to be a little more than, well, it's going to be a yard, I guess, the way it looks. About a yard, I guess.
Dave Slater into the lineup for the Red Tornadoes.
Yeah, Gonzalo had originally run. He did it right. He ran to the first down marker, but then he had to move up a little bit when Higgins got in trouble, and that's what took us out of the first down play. Brings up a big 4th down and 1.
This one to Sinkovic. First down and more. Get it out of bounds, Joe, on the 22-yard line, and he does so. Nice run by Joe Sinkovic. Good blocking on the right side of the Red Tornado line. Dave Baxey over here. Also number 63, Scott Grady.
All the officials in the game tonight, guys, are from the Lancaster, Middletown, Lancaster area, Mountjoy, and there's one, I don't know where they got him from, one from Frackville. I don't know
Frank Romanelli.
How he got mixed up in this group, but he's from Frackville.
Higgins, quick handoff to Sheptock, gain of 4 yards to the 18-yard line.
Hey,
and that one's going to go against Pottsville.
On the tie. On the tie, number 89.
Right, definitely.
You don't want that to happen down there, that's for sure.
It's 99. Sorry about that.
Homa.
Yeah. He's played a good game, too. It's a shame he did that at this point, but it's also a shame he did it so far out in the open. If you're going to kick somebody, you got to make sure nobody's paying attention to you when you do it.
Yeah, this one's going against the Crimson Tide.
That's a costly error that time, really is.
Personal foul against the Crimson Tide gives the ball first down and goal to go for the Red Tornadoes from the 9.5-yard line. Higgins sets the Red Tornadoes. Sheptock and Brett Veach. Pitch back to Veach. Tries cutting it up.
Good
now
speed.
takes it to
He
the
got
outside.
it. He's in.
Touchdown, Brett Veach, and the young freshman puts one in with 7:48 left on the clock in the ball game.
Speed was unbelievable.
Isn't it?
He is unbelievable.
Well, he gave that one little fake to the inside and then took it to the outside.
I don't think we have anybody out there that turns the corner like he does.
No. And you know what was great about it? He waited. He saw the halfback take the end on, and he cut real quick.
Yeah.
He knew that the end couldn't see, and he just put the speed on.
Klingerman in to attempt the extra point. Snaps back, kicks
Blocked.
up, and it is
They
no
blocked
good.
it,
It
right?
was blocked.
They came right up the middle that time and blocked it. Right straight through the middle.
With 7:48 remaining in the ball game, the score, the Crimson Tide of Pottsville 14, the Red Tornadoes 6.
I'm a little surprised they went for the one-pointer there. Are you?
What?
A little surprised they went for
No.
1 point, no?
My thinking behind it, first of all, you want the 1 point so you could get the tie. If you want to go for the tie,
Okay.
then if you do make the second touchdown, then you make the decision whether you want to win the game or you want to tie the game.
Okay. Thank you, Frenchie.
Yes, sir.
The Frenchman's been around, Bob. Let's face it.
That's right.
The man's been around.
Well, I'll tell you what, a lot of pressure now again on the Red Tornado defense. Outstanding job by the Tornadoes tonight, though.
That
this
was
is a game that they needed, and they are just, if a couple breaks had gone their way, they just couldn't get the breaks to go their way. But what a great job by these Red Tornadoes tonight. I mean, you can't take anything away. The Veer was defensed very well.
We're short a guy on the kickoff here. And we don't even know who it is we're short here.
Time.
Jeff Trockey, he was having trouble with his helmet, to give him credit. We were watching him on the sideline here. He was down on the bench trying to work hard at putting his helmet back together. So,
Yeah, but he's the kind of kid that he doesn't really care if he's wearing his helmet.
No,
His helmet's just excess weight for him.
that's for protection.
Klingerman set to kick up off for the Red Tornadoes. A squibber bounces it on the 40, taken by number 80, which is Mike Stank, brings it up the right side,
nice
hit in there and hanging on to his feet. Number 3, Aaron Chicatano.
All right, Aaron.
Aaron made the tackle. Good job,
Big play,
Aaron.
Chicatano.
You know, when he had his legs tied up, it was Jeff Trockey that hit the ball carrier square and drove him back.
First down and 10, Crimson Tide, 7:37, and one drive in the second quarter lasted 8:43 for the Crimson Tide.
Yeah, that it did.
So a big defensive stand here by the Red Tornadoes. They have got to stop them quick. O'Brien off the right side. And I'll tell you what, right now Mount Carmel is putting it to Pottsville. They know they're in a football game. Joe Costello down on the bottom of the pile, which would lead to believe he made the tackle. It was hard to tell with everybody piling in there.
If not, he told somebody too.
Second down and 6. 7 minutes left in this ball game. 14-6, Crimson Tide in the lead. Art Harris split far left. Gary Spears will be covering him, but they're coming up the middle to O'Brien.
No way.
And he has popped in there by Joe Sinkovich.
No gain.
Also, number 57, which is Jason Klingerman, and 52, Corey Hepler.
Now you see, and you're right. This defense right now is taking them out of their veer. They're just running straight dives. Now, fortunately, they're not picking up enough yardage to pick up the first down. They are running time off the clock, though.
They're down to 6 minutes and 15 seconds left on the clock. Yost sets the Crimson Tide. Takes O'Brien to the outside. Finds some running room
Clip.
down the sideline
There's
and
a clip
knocked
there.
out of bounds on the 41-yard line.
Slate man got clipped.
Well,
So first down and 10, Crimson Tide, and this one will be marked on the 39-yard line of the Red Tornado.
They should give me a flag. I could have thrown that one.
think you could reach the field.
I'll tie a rock to it.
Oh, okay.
A goonie, as they say. I'll put a goonie on it and wing it.
Yost tries it up the middle of Ruck. Finds a little running room off the right side. Tackled by John Lashinsky. 5:55 left in the ball game. Second down and 4.
This is where the veer kills you, though. When you have the lead late in the game, the veer's your best friend because it just keeps pounding at you and pounding at you. And you're looking at a defense that has shown courage beyond courage tonight. but it's got to be tired. I mean, they have to be tired out there now.
Yost goes to O'Brien again around the outside. Joe Costello held, and they go out of bounds on about the 28-yard line, but we're seeing some penalties not being called right now.
I see what you're seeing now is fatigue. They're just tired. They're starting to move around the outside a little bit now where they couldn't budget at all before. It's just, I mean, there's nothing happens for the rest of this game that's the defense's fault. You know what I mean? I mean, it's just they've done all they can do out there. There is nothing else that they could do they haven't done.
They definitely kept us in this ball game.
It's a shame to see them being pounded on in the last 5 minutes like this.
3rd down and 1. Yost, inside handoff to O'Brien, gain of 5 yards.
More like 7 or 8, I think.
Finished off by Bob Veach in on the tackle. So Pottsville will have a 1st down and 10 from the 22-yard line. 5 minutes and 14 seconds left on the clock, and this is that drive we were talking about where now they've already taken 2.5 minutes off the clock.
Yeah. That defense right now is out there on pride. That's all it is. I mean, they're just battered right now.
Yost tries the right side with Ruck. Joe Sinkovich in on the tackle, also assisted by number 27, John Lashinsky. 2nd down and about 4. 4:41 left on the clock.
Blitz.
Going off the right side, Yost goes, number 40 O'Brien goes running down and knocked out of bounds on about the 10-yard line.
Yeah, somewhere right along. That time he saw Sinkovich shoot the hole almost
in
a
blitz.
blitz.
Yeah.
Well, I think they thought he was
play, but
coming left too.
yeah, he's trying to anticipate the play now. Yeah, it's a shame because they may put another score up on the board, but that score is not going to be indicative of the defensive effort here. It's not. And people are going to not know that if they didn't see this game.
Tries Ruck off the right side. Touchdown, Crimson Tide. And like you said, the defense just tired out.
They're worn out.
Right.
You look at them. Look at them out there.
Yeah.
They've given everything they have out there. There is nothing left to give defensively for this team. They needed, in the end, the byline of this will be they needed to generate some offense earlier, and they needed to score in the 2 opportunities they had down deep in Pottsville Crimson Tide territory, which they didn't. And now, look at Costello. Look at the look at him.
Oh,
now.
yeah.
There's a warrior coming off
You're
the
not
field
kidding.
now. There's a warrior coming off the field. Look at him. He can barely walk.
And I don't know whether he has a cramp or what, but he didn't want to come out.
Snaps down, the kick's up, and it's good. With 4:12 remaining in the ball game, the score, the Crimson Tide 21, the Red Tornadoes 6.
Yeah, see, I hate to see that last touchdown, that cheapy touchdown put up there because it just wasn't right. They played too hard for this to happen to them now, but they were just on the field too long. But I think so far, Pottsville's going to have to say to themselves when this game's over, that was the best defense they've faced. And that includes the game they lost.
Definitely. This was a hard-fought game. I do not believe Pottsville came down and expected what they got.
Yeah.
No. A lot of opportunities for the Red Tornadoes. Down on the 15, down on the 4. There are a lot of opportunities that they didn't get to put it in. But, I can't say enough about the defense. It was awesome tonight. Great coaching job, too. They had it read. They knew what they were going to do with this defense, and they did it well. Kick taken by Veach. Back on the 15. Breaks it to the sideline, to the 25, to the 30, and knocked out of bounds on about the 35-yard line.
He's going to be a true wonder to watch this kid.
Bet.
He's going to be a true wonder for the next 3 years after this.
And looking at the moves, he's like just like his dad when his dad played.
Exactly.
He has great lateral movement, and he has that extra burst of speed to get him around the corner.
He looks just like his dad, too.
Yeah.
Bobby didn't in that he was too big. the comparison wasn't there because of the size, but this one, he's a spitting image of his dad.
Higgins sets the Red Tornadoes, pitches back to Sinkovic, carries the ball for a 2 or 3 yard gain to the 39-yard line. 39-yard line. 3:52 left on the clock. 21-6, Crimson Tide. Number 5, Bob Veach, and 88, Joel Gonzalo, split to the right. Higgins back to pass, rolls to his left, throws the ball at Dave Slater.
Almost.
But a big rush from number 51 of the Crimson Tide, Kurt Arrow.
A big hit, too, by 2 of them out there.
3:23 left on the clock, 3rd down and 8.
See, one of the differences you see in the size of the schools, though, we're going to be AA next year. For those of you who didn't know it, they're Quad A. Is look at the difference in the offense and defense, though. How many players don't play both ways?
Right.
Whereas us, everybody's playing both ways almost.
Higgins rolls to his right, intercepted by number 80, which is Mike Stank, takes it down the sideline. Nice tackle made by Mike Higgins on the 21-yard line, but this one will tuck it away for Pottsville.
Well, the worst part is you're putting the proud defense back on the field again for another 3 minutes or so. I don't think there's much left to give out there right now.
Yost brings the Crimson Tide to the line with 3 minutes left on the clock. Ruck and Jamie O'Brien in the backfield for the Crimson Tide. This one's going to O'Brien off the right side, breaks it up to the left side, and a nice tackle made by Sheptalk as he was being blocked.
Sheptalk made the good play that time. And again, Sheptalk and Sinkovic were mainstays out there as the linebackers, and again, the other guys, you don't often see this as much as you do with the veer, but the defensive backs have to make so many plays all the time with the veer. They're actually linebackers in a game like this.
Well, if you take a look at our defense, we did pull John Lashinsky up into that.
Yeah, he was actually a linebacker many
times
in the defensive setup.
Pottsville set up with 2 receivers split far right. Ruck up the middle, hit by Sheptalk, and a good play made by the defense, and they're still firing out off the ball. Great job by Dave DeLasia, George McPhee tonight to do all this work. Everything worked tonight. You can't say any problems here at Mount Carmel. They did a great job.
Our cameraman,
Danny Morose, and also Corey Kent and Gary Tresker.
Yep.
So good job by the WKMC crew tonight.
Always a good job. They're the only reason you see us.
That's right.
If you left it up to us, there'd be a lot of blank space on Wednesday night.
1:54 left in the ball game. Timeout called here, and I think Keating came out with a different team.
Yeah,
Put some different people in.
Really look clean.
Well, you got Homa in there now, though. You didn't have him in offense before.
John Yastashak down on one knee thinking about this one, and it just was so close for the Red Tornadoes tonight. Mount Carmel coaches have all gone down on the field and have to be happy with the way the defense played tonight. They had them scouted well. They tried hard. They're congratulating everybody that's down on the field. Try it up the middle to number 33 from Pottsville, which is Ryan Murhan. 1:43 left on the clock. 4th down and about 5 for the Crimson Tide.
Well, I'm going to say one other thing, though. This has been an intense rivalry, and of course you go back to Coach Dimnick and from Pottsville. I'm thinking of his name now.
Flynn. Coach Flynn.
Coach Flynn such a heated rivalry, and you have on the other side their coaching staff, and Keating knows it. He was part of it. He knew it. And now you see him down here, and he's not trying to pound that ball. Now you're seeing different running backs. Look at him. He's replacing everybody on the team. And I'm gonna tell you what, I'm gonna tip my hat to Coach Keating and that whole coaching staff in the Pottsville program. It's the last time we're gonna see them on a football field, and I want to say that is a class act right now. That's a class thing.
You know, he coached track. He was the head track coach up there for quite a few years when Coach Flynn was the head football coach, and they have a rule up there that you can only be head coach in one sport at Pottsville.
Oh, yeah?
So consequently, what happened was that when Coach Flynn retired, Kevin went up to be head coach, and he became then an assistant coach at the track team. And I've gotten to know him from track, and he's just one great guy.
Well, he shows it here. He really does.
Pottsville snaps the ball, tries a handoff to number 20, Pat Dorenzo, and he's tackled by John Lashinsky and also number 59, Mark Burns. So Mount Carmel will take over first down and 10, 1:34 left on the clock.
I'll tell you what, he made up for the arrogance of that call down there in the first. He did by doing this.
Yeah.
He looked at a proud defense and he said to himself, "Now we'll let them walk off here." And that's what he did. And I appreciate that. He didn't have to. Other coaches wouldn't have.
You know, there were some scores this year that were very high that Pottsville played other teams.
Higgins back to pass. Looks at Trockey, throws it over his head on the 49-yard line. Some sideline scenes that we're watching right now. Coach Kamazak going over to Joe Costello and kneeling down alongside of him, probably telling him what a great job he did. Coach Babinski working with Jason Rohrbaugh right now. And just all these coaches down congratulating those players that played on defense and offense for a great game against the Crimson Tide. 1:20 left in the fourth quarter, 21-6, Crimson Tide in the lead. Higgins back to pass, rolls to his right, intercepted by number 26 from the Crimson Tide, Jeremy Finelli. So now Pottsville will have the ball on the 15-yard line, most likely with what Coach Keating has been doing, will down the ball.
Well, first and 10 here, he can certainly run out.
Has to go one play, right?
He certainly can run out the clock. There's no problem there. And you could see that, you know, the plays were just straight dives last time, and the ball carriers were told to wrap the ball up, make sure you don't lose it, and hit the ground when you get hit.
Yeah, he's got that whole second group in there floating around there again. In fact, he's even got another set of tackles in there now than he had before.
Right.
So
he has kept Rusty Yost at quarterback to get that snap. We have flags on the play.
Too much time.
A delay of game called against the Crimson Tide.
Again, there you're seeing a class act. He's just running the clock out as best he can.
Coach Verano and Jeff Trockey talking on the sidelines. .43 seconds left in the ball game. First down and 15 for the Crimson Tide. Yost just downs the ball.
I knew he was going to do that because he had the two backs so far back. There's no way he could have handed it off to them.
Clock still running, 33 seconds left.
One more play.
You don't usually see two backs like that so far back as a safety valve. You only see one usually. I'm going to again. Let me give credit to the Pottsville High School program. They are a class act. This was a good thing to do.
Right now, Coach Keating is not going to even think about running another play. It doesn't look like. I thought he had to get one more in there, but maybe they'll just leave it go.
Well, he probably does. There's going to be a delay.
No, Coach Williams is leaving it go too.
Okay.
He started running out of 5 seconds to let it go, and that's the end of the ball game. The final score: the Crimson Tide of Pottsville 21. The Red Tornadoes 6. Coach Keating and Coach Williams meet at the center of the field, shake hands. Hard-fought game by both these teams. We'll be back with a final wrap in one moment. That's it from the Silver Bowl. The final score 21-6. Great defensive play by the Red Tornadoes.
It's the story of the game. It really is going to be the defense. Was on the field more than you can ask any defense to be on the field. They played a bruising game against a really bruising offensive football team with the Veer, and they held their own through the entire game. The other byline to the story would be, after you give credit to the defense, would be the missed opportunities to score. I guess what you tell me on the
There was a 4-yard line,
4-yard line, and a
15-yard
15-yard line. And they're pretty much the story. The defense and those missed opportunities when we were down close decided the game. And I know the Pottsville area, as they leave this series and walk away from this stadium maybe forever, are going to have to tell themselves they were in the toughest game of the year, I think, so far to them. The hitting was ferocious, and everybody did what they had to do. I mean, I think they just have too many kids for us.
I'm Bob Else.
I'm Warren Altomar.
Wayne Brokenshire.
See you next week.